Hi, my name is Haman Naseem, and I'm doing an object speech on a picture of my pet cockatiel. His name is Fluff, and I'll be talking about him today. Are you a big fan of pets? I sure am, but only to certain animals. I'm not too big of a fan of dogs, but I am of birds, fish, and as well as cats, even though I haven't owned a cat before. But I would like to say that my favorite pet would be the bird, specifically the cockatiel. Before I can continue to talk about the cockatiel, I just want to tell you a little background information about these birds. The cockatiel is a parrot from the Cockatiel family. They average to be about 12.8 inches long, including the tail, and they usually weigh from 2.8 ounces to 4.4 ounces. For these birds, it is important for them to be in this weight range because that is the important indicator as to whether the bird is healthy or not. Cockatiels originate from the outback regions of Central Australia. Their preferred places to habitat are around the Australian wetlands, scrublands, and bushlands. Similarly to the cockatoos, the cockatiel has an erectable crest. When this crest is held erect, it indicates that the bird is very excited or startled. And when the crest is tilted downwards, it indicates that the bird is relaxed. Cockatiels have a lifespan of about 15 to 20 years, but some have survived to be about 30. Cockatiels, being the sociable and gentle birds that they are, have become a great household pet all around the world. Nowadays, cockatiels are bred in captivity around because of Australia's new rules of not permitting the export of natural wildlife, even if the species isn't endangered. In the past, me and my brother have had quite a few pets, but haven't had much time or luck taking care of these. My brother had a pet hamster when he was little, but he fed something that it wasn't supposed to have, and it didn't survive. We also got quite a few fish, especially the ones that you find at the carnival, but they didn't last more than 2 days. The fish that we got from the store, however, they did last, but when we went on vacation, we came back to find out that they weren't any longer living. So as you can see from the picture, that was my pet cockatiel, and I chose to do my object speech on him because he's not only my pet, but he's also a friend. I remember the first time when I saw him at the pet shop, he was still being nurtured, but he was still being nurtured until he was big enough to become home with me. I wasn't too excited to touch him at first because I thought he might bite me, but I found a connection with him that very first day. He was very loud and was excited whenever he was with his brothers and sisters at the store. They were all screaming together, and it was really cute. We weren't sure what to name him at first, but eventually we noticed that he always used to fluff up and sleep, so we decided to call him Fluff. The first day he came home, I remember that he would be always looking the complete opposite of what he was at the store. He went from being loud and hyper to quiet and reserved. He would face his back to us and kept staring at us at the back of the cage and the wall. Eventually, though, he began to become a friend, as they all are. The picture of him is a special object to me because it not only reminds me of him, but of all the good times that I would have with him. Despite frustrating me sometimes when he would make a mess around his cage, right after I clean up, or pooping all over the house, on the couch, or on my shirt, when he was sitting on my shoulder, or nibbling on my homework when I was sitting at the computer desk. He always was there to make me feel better and to help me cheer me up. He always had a cheerful chirp and was always ready to play too. Sometimes we'd play together and other times we'd relax. I remember one time I would always lie on my sofa watching TV and he would be on my tummy, all fluffed up and sleeping. Sometimes he would tease me by staring at me when I'm watching TV, but when I look up at him, he looks away, and he keeps doing that until I give him the attention that he wants. I always thought that bird was smarter than it looked. The saddest day for my brother and I was the day that my parents became fed up with Fluff and decided to give him to a family friend. I could see tears in Fluff's eyes as the car started to back away from the driveway because somehow I knew that he knew that he was never going to see me again. I'm not sure where he is today, since I found out a little while ago that he flew out of the window from the family friend's house. But he and our memories together, he will always be in our memories together and will always be remembered by my brother and I, and will always have a special place in our hearts for as long as we live. Thank you.